Hello, welcome to Biography TV. If you're new here, please subscribe and turn on the notification so you don't miss our next video. Biography of Andry Rajoelina. Andry Rajoelina is one of the youngest heads of state, not just in Africa but the whole world. Born into a wealthy family on the 30th of May 1974, he set up a number of successful businesses before venturing into politics, where he attained the highest office in Madagascar. At the young age of 19 in 1993, Rajoelina set up his first business, a small event production company which he called Show Business. The next year, he organized a concert called Live that saw performances from foreign and Malagasy musical artists. By the time of the event's 10th anniversary, it had grown so popular that it was attracting over 50,000 people. In 1999, Rajoelina launched a technology company. The business quickly grew to include a billboard advertising arm. He went on to purchase Domapop, which was a rival billboard advertising agency that belonged to his in-laws. Still brimming with so much business ideas, in May 2007, Andry Rajoelina bought the Ravinala television and radio stations and renamed them Viva TV and Viva FM. With a stream of well-established businesses, he turned his face towards politics, hoping to find success there as well. In 2007, he founded the political association Tanora Malagasy Vonona (TGV), meaning Determined Malagasy Youth. He subsequently declared his intention to run for mayor of Antananarivo, which is the capital city. Being quite young, worked to increase his popularity, especially among the youths. He got elected in December 2007 with 63.3% of the vote to beat the incumbent mayor, Henry Rafalimanana. Rajoelina had a major fallout with President Ravalomanana of Madagascar in December 2008 when the latter's government closed down his TV station because of an interview it granted an exiled former head of state, Didier Ratsiraka. Within a week, Rajoelina arranged a meeting with 20 of Madagascar's top opposition leaders. They released a joint press statement demanding that the Ravalomanana-led government be more democratic in its practice. From January 2009, Andry Rajoelina organized and led a series of political rallies in Antananarivo. On the 13th of January, he issued an ultimatum to the government to restore Viva TV. The government instead went ahead to seize the channel's transistor. On the 17th of the same month, Rajoelina gathered over 30,000 supporters in a park he renamed Place of Democracy. At a rally at the end of the month, he boldly declared, "Since the president and the government have not assumed their responsibilities, I therefore proclaim that I will run all national affairs as of today." He added that a request for the president to tender his resignation would shortly be filed with the Parliament of Madagascar. However, his brash declaration of self-power did not go down well with the people who felt it was against the ideas of democracy he claimed to uphold. Attendance at his rallies reduced dramatically afterwards. It is difficult to defy the government and not get burnt. It was on that note that on the 3rd of February, the Ministry of Domestic Affairs announced that Rajoelina has been dismissed as mayor of Antananarivo, a decision Rajoelina contested. As powerful as the government can be, sometimes things happen that even they cannot stop or undo. Such events started in Madagascar on the 7th of February 2009 when pro-Rajoelina protesters marched to the presidential palace. The presidential guards opened fire, killing 31 and wounding over 200. This marked the beginning of the end of President Ravalomanana. he lost the support of the army, who blamed him for ordering the shooting. Rajoelina himself was forced to seek refuge at the French embassy as the authorities tried to arrest him. With all the upheaval, the army issued an ultimatum on the 10th of May for the crisis to be resolved within 72 hours. The president subsequently called for a referendum to solve the crisis, but Rajoelina refused, insisting that the president be arrested. On the 16th of March, the president subsequently dissolved the government and resigned, transferring the presidential seal to the army. On the 18th of March, the army then directly transferred power to Rajoelina, making him president of the High Transitional Authority, HAT. Rajoelina, at only 35, was sworn in as president on the 21st of March before a crowd of 40,000 people. He was the youngest head of state ever in Madagascar and the world at the time. But the new government was immediately faced with problems as the international community refused to acknowledge it. The South African Development Commission, SADC, announced it did not recognize it. The United Nations did not. African Union suspended Madagascar. The United Nations froze about 600 million euros it planned to give as aid. The International Monetary Fund did the same. The international resistance to the power change was indeed huge, as they all called for free and fair elections before Rajoelina's government would be recognized. Madagascar then went through a period of constitutional changes, and Rajoelina's position became that of interim president until elections held. With all the changes being made, the international community gradually started reverting their stand. In June 2010, the EU announced it would be giving $600 million financial aid to Madagascar. In November 2011, he was allowed to address the UN's 66th session of the United Nations General Assembly. This marked the first major form of international recognition of the transition government. In December 2011, he met with French President Nicolas Sarkozy. Things took an interesting twist when in May 2013, ex-President Ravalomanana's wife, Ratsiraka, announced he would be running for the presidential elections. Rajoelina viewed it as a breach of contract and decided that he too would run, having initially exempted himself. This greatly affected the plans for the elections, and it had to be postponed a number of times. The court finally gave a ruling that both Rajoelina and Ratsiraka were ineligible to contest. When the elections were finally held, Henry Rajoelina, who had the backing of interim President Rajoelina, won the race. Andry Rajoelina officially stepped down on the 25th of January 2014. Andry Rajoelina bid his time after he handed over, and in 2018 he contested for the presidency against his predecessor Ravalomanana and the incumbent and his successor Rajoelina. Rajoelina was still hugely popular, and he won the election and was sworn in on the 19th of January 2019. In the middle of the global COVID-19 pandemic, President Rajoelina was in the news for reasons quite unrelated to politics or business. He launched an untested drug for coronavirus, which he claimed was a cure for the virus. The purported cure was called COVID Organics. It is a herbal tea developed in Madagascar by the nation's Institute of Applied Research. Rajoelina recommended the herbal tea for COVID-19 patients and also declared that students would be required to drink it in order to return to school. However, the country's Academy of Medicine and other international health organizations expressed their skepticism about the drug's safety and effectiveness, as it had not undergone necessary clinical trials. Rajoelina is married to Miali Razakandisa and they have 2 sons and a daughter. He is the recipient of the Entrepreneur of the Year award in 1999 and 2000 from Echo Austral magazine. He was also named Best Young Entrepreneur in Madagascar by French bank BNI Credit Lyonnais in 2003. What have we missed out of this biography of Rajoelina? Let's know in the comment section. Will it be ridiculous to subscribe to our channel? If no, please like this video, share and subscribe to our channel.